Defense Department says it is now investigating Arizona Senator Mark Kelly, a retired Navy captain, for, quote, serious allegations of misconduct.
This is related to the video of Kelly and other Democratic lawmakers where they encouraged members of the military and intelligence community to defy illegal orders from the Trump administration.
When you're a senior officer in the military, you are subject to being recalled, and that's why they're going after him in this case. If, in fact, they find there is evidence that to charge him for something under the Uniform Court of Military Justice, they would have to then bring him back onto active duty, bring him back into the United States Navy, and then charge him with something like disobedience or disobeying a lawful order. That can carry some jail time if, in fact, he were to be found guilty of that. In the video, he and the others are repeatedly calling on people not to follow illegal orders. That's the key word here, illegal. That is actually the oath that an individual takes when they become an officer in the United States military, that is to not to follow illegal orders.
To be honest, the president's remarks I think, indicate a level of instability. It's not just shocking, it's not just offensive, it's bizarre, it is erratic, it's volatile, and I think it indicates a mental state that we should all be questioning right now, whether that's emotional, mental, what have you. It is not normal to make these accusations. It is not normal to invoke these kinds of threats of violence. And it's also not normal to also dramatically misquote, as Carolyn Leavitt was doing, what these members of Congress said. They made a very clear message to U.S. service members, which is that you do not have to obey an illegal order. And I think that's an important message to reiterate because this administration seems to be increasingly trying to go down that path.
MAGA's gonna be pissed. I called it. I fucking called it. I said this was gonna happen. A judge completely dropped the cases against James Comey and Letitia James because Lindsay Halligan was unlawfully appointed. He said that she was installed as interim federal prosecutor in violation of the Appointments Clause of the Constitution. Which, let's be honest, this is actually a good thing for Trump because she had no fucking clue how the law works. She admitted to the judge that in the case of James Comey, the grand jury never saw the actual full indictment because she replaced it with a new one that the foreperson signed. But she was unlawfully appointed in September of 2025, and all actions flowing from her defective appointment constitute unlawful exercises of executive power and must be set aside. But you know what makes this infinitely fucking funnier? The judge threw out these cases because Halligan was appointed without the Senate, which goes against the Appointments Clause. Does that sound familiar? It was the exact same reason Judge Aileen Cannon tossed out Trump's federal indictments, because she said Jack Smith was put in without the Senate against the Appointments Clause. And when that happened, MAGA were shouting from the rooftops going, Jack Smith is illegal, the indictments are illegal, the whole thing's illegal! Yet how hypocritically pissed off are they going to be now when Letitia James and James Comey have their cases dropped for the same reason? This is hilarious.
The past few days have been some of the most consequential in the long-running saga of the Epstein files that has roiled American politics. This story has justifiably received saturation coverage on U.S. news outlets.
President Trump was in favor of releasing the files, then he appeared to be against it, called it a Democratic hoax. Where's his head now?
It's a dramatic reversal from President Trump, now urging House Republicans to vote to fully release the Epstein files.
Breaking news as we come on the air tonight because President Trump has now signed the Epstein files bill into law.
Trump's signature isn't the magic key to this Pandora's box. The Justice Department can still withhold crucial documents, and the White House is expected to push for exactly that. Even with all the media attention on this story, though, there is one angle, not an insignificant one, that is getting very little play in the mainstream news media. Revelations about the extent of Epstein's long-standing relationship with multiple Israeli prime ministers and key members of Israeli intelligence. There is one news website that has taken ownership of this story, DropSite. Reporters there have investigated the numerous deals Jeffrey Epstein secretly brokered for the Israeli intelligence, with countries ranging from Mongolia to Russia.
Previously, we've done 3 other stories based in this archive. All of them deal with Epstein's activities on behalf of Israeli intelligence in different parts of the world.
All the information that DropSite has mined, caches of documents and email correspondence, was up for grabs. No one had to wait for any bill to be signed by a cornered president. A trove had already been released just a week or so ago by the House Oversight Committee, and other material, like the hacked emails of former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak, were on a website called Distributed Denials of Secrets, similar to WikiLeaks. Any media outlet could have gotten their hands on it. However, even after DropSite did all the heavy lifting, the story hasn't been picked up by the mainstream. It has, however, got traction on numerous podcasts and YouTube news shows with significant followings.
DropSite News, they've done a bunch of fascinating reports. There's been some interesting coverage of Epstein's ties with foreign governments that we want to just quickly touch on.
Explain what you feel the media is not covering. What is the role of Jeffrey Epstein when it comes to U.S. foreign policy?
It just shows you still the information bubble that a lot of the mainstream media and all of them are swimming in. Shows like ours are the only people even willing to talk about it.
The mainstream media's downplaying of this angle raises questions. Epstein's ties to Israel are already part of the political conversation. Prominent figures from the Republican Party have been talking about it. Take this exchange on CNN.
I think the right question is to ask is, was Jeffrey Epstein working for Israel?
Are you saying Israel is pushing the President of the United States to cover up the Epstein files? And what evidence do you have that that is the case?
Apart from this moment, there's been almost nothing on this piece of the Epstein puzzle in the mainstream media.
If we're being tariffed on other countries, then yeah, we should tariff them back if it's not going to hurt us.
It does.
You're
Do you know what a tariff is? And also, like, they have not placed tariffs on us that we placed on them.
I literally work in finance. Like, don't insult me like that.
That's not an insult. I'm just asking if you know what it is. And by the way, that's a totally.
Do you?
Yes, I know what it is. That's a totally genuine question, as I have people come up on my live all the time that don't know what it is. Would you like to explain what a tariff is for people in the live who do not know?
Go ahead.
I'm asking you. Would you like to do it?
A tariff is like a tax that we're going to put on other countries for their imports.
And who pays that tax?
The other countries.
No. So it's actually paid by the American importing business, and it's passed down to the consumer mostly. The foreign country is not paying the tariff. That's just not true. So why did you feel insulted, like, if someone asked you what a tariff was when you genuinely didn't know what it was?
Well, I guess I just feel like you feel very, like, high and mighty when you can just, like, prove somebody wrong about something. Is that wrong?
Yeah, I feel like Superman right now.